Okay, I'm excited to be here. I hope we're live on Facebook. I'm here with Michael and Jennifer. We're here on Zoom. We want to just have a conversation about some of the experiences we've had over the past 4 to 5 months with Make Wellness in all natural bioactive precision peptides. And we're streaming this live to Facebook. So we're crossing our fingers that you guys on Facebook can see it. So if you do see it, please comment. As we're chatting today, you're friends with Michael and Jennifer or with me. Tag a friend if you hear something here that you're like, man, maybe they would be interested in learning a little bit about this, because that's one of the best things you could do for a friend. If even if something's not for you, is give a recommendation or a referral to a friend. So I met Michael and Jennifer for the first time in March in an event in Orlando, and I just immediately loved their energy and just who they are as people. Um, I've worked with Jennifer for a little bit on social media, but it's like back and forth on Facebook, some Zooms as she's worked on um, building her business. And then it was fun to meet Michael. I never really know who the spouse is until they come to an event. And Michael, it was awesome to meet you. Just such an awesome, hardworking guy. So that's my kind of guy. So I just love this
Good
family.
time. Good times at the event.
Yeah, and we had the best of times. So I'm going to ask you guys a question, because we're here talking about Make Wellness and these peptides. What was the first thing that got you intrigued or interested or open to the idea of looking at these peptides, these all natural bioactive precision peptides? That's my first question is what made you say like, okay, I'll take a look at it.
Well, that was me.
Okay.
Because I'm 38 years old and I was struggling with weight loss last year. I was like struggling, it was a huge thing for me because I used to work out and I used to be so active. I was going to a gym, I was taking classes, I was doing everything. But during that time, I felt that I was very thick. Like I wasn't getting that nice lean figure that I always wanted. But I was working out, I was feeling okay, I was doing everything that I needed to do. That gym shut down, and I had a hard time finding another gym that I liked. So I started doing workouts at home, and I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted because I wasn't getting that nice lean look that I wanted. So
Yeah.
I was having a hard time because I was struggling with eating, like especially at nighttime. I used to get the munch really bad. He would come home late from work and I'll be like, do you want to eat something? And we'll be in the kitchen eating. So I was struggling big time.
Yeah.
And I was just that mental fog that you get, and it was just bad. So I have friends that were doing the peptides, the injectable ones,
Okay.
and they were just literally dropping the weight, like just dropping it. And I was just like, I have always been someone that looks for natural, that likes holistic. Our doctor is a holistic doctor. And I was like, I'm seriously considering doing this because I'm desperate. And my husband was like, no way you're doing those. So I started searching and searching, and I looked for actual some other injections are natural, like vitamin B12,
Okay.
but they were like $300 for one. And you need like to go like weekly, to see results. So I'm like, there's no way I can do that. So I kept looking, and then boom, it popped on my news feed. A Beachbody coach that I follow for the longest time, and she was talking about these peptides and all natural peptides. Well, I already trust what she says because I follow her through Beachbody Journey. So I know she's a lot of natural type of girl. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. And I order the peptides. And in less than 2 weeks, and this was during the holidays, during Thanksgiving and Christmas, I started seeing the weight drop. And I started seeing myself leaning and shrinking. And I'm like, could it be? Is this it? And it was just from there on, I ordered the other products. And I was just like, okay, I need to learn more about this thing. So I had started reading and looking more into them. And I'm like, okay, this is amazing. And if it's doing this for me, I have to be able to share this, with other people that I know are doing the other stuff, but are looking for something better and nicer in their body, with their body.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are like that. They want the results and then you see something like Ozempic or Manjaro, and
Mhm.
sometimes things are necessary with a doctor, and you need to follow your doctor's advice. But that sometimes you're out there and you see other people doing it that don't necessarily need it for whatever reason, their blood sugar levels or whatever, and they're like, oh, I kind of want to do that. Uh,
Mhm.
and so it can be tempting, and I think most people want the most natural version possible because
Mhm.
they'll feel better with it. And one thing is I want to share about that is I have a really good friend, Jared, and you know who Jared is. You've met Jared. He's
Mhm.
been a metabolism expert for 7 years and helped over 1,500 women lose weight. That's about in your age range. I'm 43, and he has guaranteed results with his program. It's thousands of dollars for his program. He sold millions of dollars of coaching in that program, and
Mhm.
it's guaranteed 100% that his client will lose weight. He's just so smart on how the body works and metabolizes fat and gets rid of toxins and the importance of sleep and stress control and hydration, and he's just so smart. And the funny thing is, like, he was the same way when he found out about this. He was like, okay, it's indirect sales, because he worked with companies that where you can get some pretty good products, but you have to have a medical license, and he worked with
Mhm.
functional medicine doctors. And so when he heard about this, he's like, oh, it's a direct sales company. He's like, every direct sales company for the past decade has been trying to pitch me to sell their products to my clients. And he's like, I just don't want to do that. Like, I have something that works. But he knew that peptides were the future. And when he found
Mhm.
out and discovered through just getting curious like you, like seeing some people that he knew and trusted were starting to hop on board, he read the science, the clinical papers and the trials, and he's just like, this is mind blowing. This is crazy. And the thing that I remember him saying the first time we sat at lunch, and he's like, so he gave me all the numbers. I wasn't that smart. I've helped people for 15 years, but I was like just learning so much from him. He's like, Scotty, like, there with injectable synthetic peptides, people are they're losing weight, but he's
Mhm.
like, but some of them, like 20%, don't have any issues at all. Everything goes well. 80% have issues with their digestion or nausea or some sort of side effect. But he's like, here's what people are not talking about. He's like, 39% of the weight loss is from muscle mass. And he's like, muscle mass is the key to longevity.
Mhm.
And he did the math for me.
Mhm.
And he's just like, if they lose 50 pounds and 39%, it's like 40%. So he's like, they lose 50 pounds. He's like, 30 pounds of that is fat and 20 pounds is muscle. And he's like, every person stays on those injections for 1 to 2 years, and then they gain back 2/3 of the weight. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. There's still less. But he's like, but it's not cool, because that if you do the math exactly, they gain back 33 pounds of fat, no muscle. So now they have
Mhm.
more fat mass on their body and less muscle. So they're less healthy than when they started, even though they weigh less.
Mhm.
And I'm just like,
Mhm.
and he's like, the clinical trials with lean, which is the product you were talking about, how you started to slim up and feel
Mhm.
awesome. He's like, Scotty, I just remember him looking at, he's like doing this on the table. He's like, with the clinical trials, he's like 100% of the weight loss came from fat mass,
Uh-huh.
from muscle. He's like, this is mind blowing.
Mhm.
That's where he's like, I'm all in. Every one of my clients and people that I've worked with and have worked with and will work with need these natural peptides.
Mhm.
Like, people are looking for that solution.
Mhm.
So I love that you share that. I think it's just absolutely incredible. Michael, what has your experience been so far? Are you using any of them, and what do you
Mhm.
feel?
Well, I've been using all six products since for what 2 months fully.
About 2.5 months.
So about
You
two,
started in January, honey.
but using all six products.
Oh, okay.
So using all six products, I'd say a couple months ago, maybe just a little bit more. But she got me started. I've known about peptides for quite some time because my mom was married to a holistic physician,
Okay.
and the natural physician that we see was his old business partner. He has my mom's husband's passed away, but um, when I was under his care, I was taking peptides for allergies.
Oh, cool.
And the thing is, because I had terrible allergies, and I mean, it would be the point it knocked me out for literally like a day. And so my mom was like, well, I can get you these peptides at cost, but even at cost, they were, I mean,
Well, over
well over $100. And then you have to,
150 something.
yeah, you have to cycle them a certain way. And then you have to go on one side of the body to another side of the body. I mean, it almost felt like you had to stand on your head while snapping your fingers. It's just the schedule and the cycle that they were required. And then, of course, there are side effects to those because they are synthetic. Um, but they ultimately did work. So when she talked about these peptides, I was like, okay, I mean, I've heard of peptides, but Ozempic's a peptide, insulin's a peptide. I mean, everything has its purpose. But when I read into it, and these were GRAS certified all natural peptides, and seeing the results that she was getting, and then I started looking into it even more. And then when I went to the conference, um, I kind of was more in the beginning. I was there for Jenny for moral support for the business part. I was like, "Yeah, honey, I'll go with you." Just and I really wasn't paying attention at first, but then you got Dr. Bartlett that
Yeah.
got up there, and who's the other
Alan.
Mr. Allen got up there, and they started talking more my language, which is more the scientific part.
Yeah.
And that's what really I started rehearing things that I remember my mom's husband speaking about. And I'm like, okay, and it was all coming together. So then, obviously, seeing her results drop in weight, I was on them at the time, and I was seeing a reduction in my waistline, a reduction in the fat rolls that were on my back.
Mm-hmm.
I was obviously, and them being natural and that's the key for me is the natural part. Again, modern medicine has its place, but you can obviously see that when they advertise a medication, they got a list on there, oh, possibly causes depression, diarrhea, death, and it's like, well, it's like, hey, and it's like, it's just crazy to think that if we have a problem, are we really going to rely on those things all the time? And it's natural is obviously the way to go. So if there's a natural way and the cost of these things is drastically less than those of synthetic peptides. I just had somebody that I know who told me he was taking the Ozempic, and it was a Schedule II drug. And now on the way it was billed in insurance was Schedule 2 or Tier 2 or something like that. So they were paying about $350 a month. But then the new tier came out and they upped Ozempic to Tier 1. So now it was over $700 or $800.
Wow.
And it's just like you think about that, it's going to cost more. There's side effects. And like you just got done explaining a little bit ago, those are like Jared would explain to you that you're going to gain more back and it's not going to be in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I kind of came into this.
Well, one of the things that I love about the natural part is that they go in and activate. What got me was that they go and activate your own peptide. It's like the signaling to, hey, you need to wake up and do the work that you were created to do. And they're not going in there and saying, shut down, I got this, which you don't want that. We don't want it to shut down. We want it to like move it up and get our body working because, it's the natural way. It's just the way it should be.
I love that.
So I love that.
Yeah, and I'm feeling so awesome on them. A quick story, like I wasn't gonna go like stories so much in here, but I think stories are powerful. And I have so many we could go like an hour, but we're not gonna do that. So those of you that are watching, like for me, I got I broke this collarbone in 7 places, and that rehabbed pretty good. But I'm a youth leader at church, and we're doing a camp for like 3 days, and I tried to out throw rocks into the like distance throwing into the lake, and I tore my rotator cuff in 3 places.
Mm,
And I went and got PRP injections. They take cells
mhm,
out and they mix it. They damage it into your tendon more and like re-inject it into you. And I did dry needling, physical therapy at like $150 a pop twice a week. And I spent thousands of dollars, and I got it to because it was so bad, like it hurt to hang. Like my
mhm,
arm just hanging hurt. And so I got it to a place where it didn't hurt to hang, like I could move it around, but I couldn't lift above my head. I couldn't do like incline chest press or shoulder presses or lateral raises. I couldn't throw a football. Like, so I can throw a mean spiral now because my kid plays football and I learned to throw left-handed so I could still hang out and play with him. But it was crazy because I spent thousands of dollars. I got it to where it didn't hurt on a normal average day, but I couldn't do what I was doing before. And the crazy thing is, like, I got on the Fit Peptide because I heard like it's going to be 4 times more effective than a whey protein shake. And I'm like, I'm down for that. And that's it,
mhm,
muscle protein synthesis. I'm like, I'm 43. It's harder for me to build muscle. And I was like, I'm going to be able to build a little muscle, get a little stronger. And the biggest thing for me is like in the trials, it shares that it reduces exercise induced inflammation.
mhm,
And it's 5x, gives you 5x the results of creatine, 4 times the muscle protein synthesis. So I'm like, I'm in. Like, that sounds
mhm,
awesome. And then I within like the first month, like my pinching in my shoulder was like going away. And I'm like getting full mobility and I'm getting stronger. And I'm like, I did not expect that. But that came from in my personal experience with it, that came from the inflammation, which causes the pinching in between
mhm,
where the shoulder rolls. Just the inflammation in my whole body has gone down. And it's
mhm.
just given me so much more mobility. And I'm like pain free in my shoulder. And I was like, how can I not like go share that with the world? And my dad, he goes
Mhm.
to the gym with me now 6 weeks. He's worked out from home for 10 years. And it was funny because every day we stretch at the end and we were doing some quad stretches where you pull your foot back to your butt, to stretch your
Mhm.
quad. And he's like, look at this. And I didn't know this, but he's like, look at this. He's like, my right leg I can touch my heel to my butt. And I'm like, that's awesome. And he's like, well, ever since I had my knee surgery a few years back, I can't pull it back to my butt. I have to go cross. I pull my leg across to
Mhm.
the other cheek. He's like, I couldn't bring it straight back. And I'm like, what? And it was the inflammation just around his
Yeah.
knee in the his fake knee that he got put in there. So I love the
Well,
peptides and it just felt so great.
it's funny. I laugh about giggle about what you just said about your dad because my mom, she's
Uh-huh.
63.
Okay.
And the more that I found out about the peptides, like the more that I learned, especially with fit, I was like, my mom has to get on this. She has to get on this because my mom has osteoporosis.
Okay.
And she still works. And where she works, she has to pull boxes. She has to get down. And for about 2 years, she was complaining of a pain that was coming from the back of her knee, like down her leg.
Okay.
And she also goes to the doctor that we go to, and she had everything done to see what it was. And the doctor said, you're losing muscle mass. And because you have osteoporosis, it doesn't help. So he says the PRP injections will help. He goes to a point, they can help. You need about 4 of them, and each one was about $1,300. This is a woman who, it's like she's working at 63, going, how is she going to be able to pay for this? So and the doctor told her it can help, but it's not going to fully take that pain away. Like, you had that issue with your shoulder. So the more and more that I learn about fit, I'm like, my mom has got to get on fit. So I talked to her and I said, you have to get on this. You have to get on this. So she got on fit. I took her to get a DEXA fit scan because I wanted to see her bone and I wanted to see everything. So I got that done before she started or a week after she
Mhm.
started. And within a week and a half, Scotty, I kid you not, she came up to me and says, Jenny, I can move my leg and I have no pain. And look at me, look what I can do. And she was squatting in my kitchen. She was squatting in my kitchen.
That's awesome.
She goes, I have not been able to do this for years. And look at me, I'm feeling stronger. She goes, I'm feeling more energized and I'm able to get down and pull boxes. Now, this is now that she's been on them for 2 months now.
Yeah.
And she says to me, the way that I feel is just amazing. She goes, I cannot believe these things are doing this for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can. I said, because I understand how they work now. And I'm like, this is amazing because it's healing, it's helping with her body, and disclaimer on that. But I can share that experience because that's, it's something personal that we're seeing happening.
Yeah.
So I giggle about you talking about your dad because my mom does the
And
same thing.
you
She
show me
gets
in the gym, you're like, look at this. Like, yes, my dad
down,
will be
she starts
69 this
squatting.
year. Yeah, doing his.
Yeah, my dad, he reported back to me that he's got a golden doodle and it pulls when they go on walks. So it always, I guess it irritated his knee that had like a tendon issue or something. But yeah, he's stating that that pain now has resided.
Well, his doctor told him that he could only fix it with surgery. And he was getting, what was the injection? Steroid injections
Oh, yeah.
for his pain. And we're like, you need to get him fit. You need to get him fit. You just got to do it. So he started on fit and he just reported, he's been on it for about 2 months. And he just reported to us that his pain is going away. So it's like, this is someone that the doctor told him the only way to fix it is with surgery.
Yeah. Crazy. That's one of the things that
Yeah.
I absolutely love about building a business and making this my work is
Mhm.
I get like hearing you guys do that. I'm like, it's Friday night at like 4:30 here, and this is my work, and I'm just like, yes, yes, that's awesome. Go Jenny's mom. And so that's so rewarding for me, and I love that. And you probably have that same feeling as well, like hearing that
Mhm.
from your mom or you,
Mhm.
Michael, hearing that from your dad. One of what's funny when I first found out about these, I was reaching out to friends. I have a friend who's a surgeon, and I was like, hey, you should really take a look at this. We went to high school together. He's a couple years older than me. And he's like, man, peptides are the future. He's like,
Mhm.
he works in a clinic and he's like, there's a couple of doctors in our clinic that are prescribing Ozempic and Manjaro and that's what they do. Like people come in asking for it and they give the people what they want and help them do that. And he's like, and and he's like, I know he's a neurosurgeon, but he's like, I know it's not the best thing for them. And he's like, I like the idea of because I was working on bringing him into this business. I was like, you should come check this out. And he's like, um, I know peptides are the future. I know that there's like that is not the best option, but he's like, I can't just sign up as an affiliate and just start selling something that I've never experienced or researched and like bring it into a clinic and everybody's clients. But he's like, let me order all six and I'll try them. And if I can, I'll study the science. I'll try it myself and see, and if it gives good results, then I'll become an affiliate and we can work on getting into the office. And the craziest thing, 2 days after he started his products, he's like, dude, this is so weird. I was really excited about lean as a better option, a natural option versus injections. But he's like, the focus product, he's like, this is crazy. And this is his own personal testimonial. Like everybody's results will vary.
Mhm.
But he's like, dude, this is working better than any of my ADHD medication I've had since I was a teenager. And he's like,
Wow.
mind blowing. And it was like
Mhm.
2 weeks later, I follow up with my clients. I'm like, hey, how you feeling with everything still going awesome with your peptides? How's I was like, have you tried the lean yet? Because I'm working on getting into the office. He's like, yeah, but he's like, dude, I have to tell you, like, I'm completely off of Adderall. He's like, I've been on like medication since I was a kid. And I'm
Wow.
like, that's crazy. Like, I never imagined like I started this business, like it'd be really cool. Like I help people with meal plans, and workouts,
Mhm.
and people get results. Everybody's different in how they get results. Some people lose weight fast, some lose it slower. But if you do the thing consistently, you'll get there, right? So I'm
Mhm.
used to that. And when I started these peptides, I was like, it'd be really cool if like 50% of my clients just like start getting better results quicker.
Mhm.
Like that'll be so rewarding. But I'm finding like 90% are like out of the gate
Mhm.
or like how your
Mhm.
mom is experiencing,
Mhm.
what he experienced, and it makes this business more simple for me. The
Mhm.
fact that the testimonials just keep coming, like I can't even keep up. I'm like trying to screenshot people's message to me, voice recording, like they're like, hey, dude, I'm 39 and I feel like a beast in the gym. And I'm like, I know, me too. So I'm like, oh, just gathering these testimonials. I almost can't keep up and keep them organized enough to like keep sharing them. That's
Yeah.
what I love about this business. So I have a question for you, and we won't go too long into this, but you guys are starting to grow a business with this now. Like you
Mhm.
guys have are earning some good side income, which is absolutely incredible, and that's rewarding for me. I love watching families earn more for their families because it gives them more opportunities for whatever's important to them in their lives. So I want to just ask you guys, how's your journey been so far as an affiliate? We know how your experience with the peptides are, but how's your experience with the business so far? And what have been some of your wins?
You want me to go first?
You can go.
Um, I'll go first on this one. Um, when this when 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 this product came available, and I saw that it was actually, it was really working for Jenny and how she was doing everything, losing the weight, becoming more self confident in her just overall self confident. One of the things, because Jenny's been a stay at home mom for
12,
13 years,
12.
12 and a half years. And one of the things that she's always stated, and I wanted that in a wife when I was looking, I wanted a wife that was wanted to be a stay at home, that chose to stay at home and wanted to, be with the children and take care of the household. And one of the things Jenny's always like commented here and there was she felt like she never really contributed like financially. And I'm like, well, honey, you're doing something greater than something financial.
Yeah.
We're raising children, and it's not easy in this world to do that. And I'm blessed enough to have a job, even though I am away from the house. It takes me away quite a bit. I'm able to have her be a stay-at-home mom. But if she's been talking about, well, I want to go out and get a job. Well, if she does that, then that takes away from possibly her being taking the kids to school and picking them up on time. And if one of the kids is sick, did she, now she got to call into a boss and like, oh, hey, I got to stay home. And it's just when this business opportunity became available, she ran with it. And it was something I was like, okay, I can actually see when she was actually working the business and everything. I see this becoming something that she is. I mean, I see it in her. She's not the statement of I want to contribute financially has dwindled. I mean, I haven't heard that comment in the longest time because she actually feels like she is contributing financially. And now she tells me her goal is to keep me home. so,
You're
to-
12,
To work
15,
some
16-hour days.
so which,
Wanting to cut the overtime and be able to be home and for dinner we would love to have him home for dinner. Michael, Fridays he's home for dinner, but Monday through Thursday he's not. So by the time he gets home everybody's sleeping, and it's like it's hard. I want him to be home. I want him to have dinner with us. I want him to Our daughters play games. We have one that likes to play basketball in school. I want him to go to the games and the piano recital, or all these things. I want him to be part of it without having to, I'm rushing there, I'm trying to get there, or I had to ask for the time off work. It's like,
or I have to step out to catch whatever, like for their science fair, the kids' science fair project. I got to experience that through Zoom or through Facebook Live, and it's like it's nice. I mean, it's better than nothing, but nothing beats being there.
mm,
Yeah. Because
And that's what I think this business, if again, like any business, you got to go to work and work diligently and be a good employee. But if you work this business the same way as you would work any other business for your boss or anything like that, it's going to provide the results that you put into it. If you plant the proper seeds, you're gonna reap the benefits and the fruit of its labor.
yeah.
and the thing is, like, for me, the biggest wins financially, it has been what he said. I'm building something that I'm able to, like, Like this girls' school registration came up, and I went and I'm like, I'm paying for it with this card.
I love that.
Now there's money in that card to do it. So, things like that
Yeah.
that I'm able to do that just feels good. And I'm not working it alone. He's working it with me because he's seen how good this is.
Yeah.
But on the other side, I think the biggest wins for me, it has been when I hear customers or our friends or our parents tell us, I'm feeling this and I haven't felt that in the longest time. Or we have one that mentioned to us, I got up to come to work and I went and put on my shoes and I was able to bend down and tie my shoe without feeling like I was going to die because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And
I've been there before.
when he was telling me about that, because it was mentioned to him, I felt like that tug in my stomach. And I said to him, you see, I'm like, this is what I like. I'm like hearing that there's something that we're contributing to serve people with getting better and feeling better. So I always tell people, let's focus on the health benefit because we know the weight is going to come up. We know that. So it's like, let's focus on what's aching, what you're feeling, the bloatiness, all the stuff, because I'm telling you, you're gonna feel a difference. And when we hear that back from them, it's like, oh, this is amazing. Oh, those are huge wins for me.
Yeah, those are huge business wins. And I think anybody like so for example, we have a cabin up near West Yellowstone and someone asked a question because we're talking a little about business here and you're expressing like how rewarding it is to see people feel like that. And like I felt that when you were talking about your mom. Like it's that feeling that you get when you're really helping somebody solve a problem. Well, this guy is like, he's like, hey, it's a like community page for the entire area. There's a bunch of cabins. Some of them are rentals, some of them, retirement homes. And they're like, what? He's like, I want to start a business it's called Island Park. He's like, I want to start a business in Island Park. What is needed there? And someone wrote exactly what was like what I would have written. It was really long, so I won't like say all the details, but it was like, there's a lot of things that people have mentioned that are necessary here, but if you want to be fulfilled and really grow a business that pays you well and provides for you, you have to do something that you love. Not just like go do some random thing that you think is going to make the
Mhm,
most money because it's needed.
mhm,
Like pick something that you love and that brings you fulfillment because that's ultimately
mhm,
what is most important in life. So I love that you shared when you sharing that. I was like, yes, fulfillment. Like you feel
mhm,
that deep sense. One of the things about this business that I love is that a lot of people work their entire life trying to earn enough money to pay for the house, to put the kids in sports, to keep food on the table, to get them off to college. And you spend your whole life building this income providing and men know are really focused on that and some women want to do that as well and want to contribute to that like you say you want to contribute to that but a lot of our life we spend our whole life um, building success, getting the home, getting it paid for, getting the kids in college, sending them off on a mission trip or whatever it is, and then you get to the end of your life and then you're like, okay, now I need to make some sort of I've spent my whole life building this success. Now I need to find some way to be significant in the lives of other people.
Mhm.
And one of the things I love about this business is you get to build success and significance simultaneously.
mhm.
Like you're being
Yep.
significant in the lives of other by
Really good.
helping them feel better. And even for me, like I was getting emotional when you were talking a little bit earlier. I was like, seeing Michael not have to be on Zoom for a science fair project, like that's significant to me because Gabby and I lived a life like that before. That was the most important thing to me. I was like, my whole life, I knew I'm a hard worker. I've always been a hard worker. I moved pipe and potato fields at like 3 in the morning before going to high school. And then I would clean the elementary school as a janitor after school. Like I've always been a worker and not afraid to work. And so like I was confused when I was married with kids. I was like, why am I working 12-hour days and I still have to send my wife to work nights and she has to drop the kids off at the babysitter and I have to pick them up at night? Like, there's got to be something different out there. And so, like, when I started a business, I was like, my most important goal was like, I was like, still like, I'll work 12-hour days. I'll still work 5 to 5 because that was my schedule. But I was like, when I get home at 5, I want my wife to be there with the kids. I don't want to go pick them up at the daycare and raise them on my own. And then they're in bed and she gets home at 11 and I fall asleep at 11:10. And then we just see each other for 10 minutes a day. I never envisioned a life like that when I was a teenager and before I got married. Like I pictured I would be a hardworking man, have a nice home, and my family could take walks in the evening, eat dinner together, play
Mm-hmm.
soccer in the front yard. And it just didn't happen for those first 5 years of our marriage. And so when I started a business like this, I was like, I'm going to make certain that she does not have to work at nights. And you guys met Gabby, but like she doesn't want to work. Like her main role is raising our 5 kids and getting them like I don't know what I would do without her. She's gone right now, and I'm like my kids come popping in here. Like saw me a little distract a minute ago, trying to figure out how to get to football practice. We got time, don't worry. But trying to figure out how to get to football practice. One's trying to figure out how to get to his grandpa's house, and I'm like she's in charge of all that stuff and so good at it. So
Mm-hmm.
I know we've been going a long time now, but I just want to ask you guys one final question. Like, where do you see? So this business is incredible. It's like the product, the peptides work. Peptides are the future. People are getting
Mm-hmm.
results, so it sells itself. It's really simple business. But here's the mind-blowing thing: it's $0 to enroll. It's
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
zero monthly business cost, operating cost or fee. There's no
Mm-hmm.
fees.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. There's no required, like you have to purchase this amount for you to get paid, and
Nope.
there's nothing. And you can earn 10 to 40% commissions and team like bonuses and stuff if you decide you want to build a team too, which is incredible. It's like mind-blowing to me.
Mhm.
So you guys are
Mhm.
here, you guys are building, like where do you see this business taking you guys over the next 5 to 10 years?
Go ahead first.
Is it because I'm the one that started it? I honestly see it bringing Michael home, not having to work the hours that he works. That's my main goal, getting him to not work the hours that he works, just a normal schedule, to be able to be home with us, have more time, and that tranquility, that peace of mind on finances, where if he gets hurt for whatever reason or something happens, we don't have to worry because there's that income coming, there's that, it's okay. I got you. We're good, and that's just, I see it happening. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 4 months now, and I'm seeing every month all the results, and it's just like I'm like it's possible. I'm seeing it. I'm experiencing it. So yes, I see. And you say 5 to 10 years, Scotty. I think it's going to be sooner than that. For me to be able to get Michael to not work the overtime. That's my main goal. I'm
That's the
shooting
first.
for that.
So in case I get hurt, I can't go to work. Are you planning on hurting me so I can stay
No,
home?
well, no. Maybe that's
She wants me home that bad. She really wanted to.
I'll just stick my foot out.
That's
Um, 5 to 10 years. Yeah, knowing where peptides are at now,
Mhm.
and I mean the explosion. I mean, it's almost like AI, where AI has just become something in the past few years, and the peptides are kind of on that same path. But these peptides are for health. I mean, these natural peptides, they're for health. So in 5 to 10 years, I see many people realizing what they're like, man, I've been looking for this for the longest time because I'm hurting, I'm this, I'm that, and there's a solution for it in a natural sense, and we don't have to rely on pharmaceuticals to take care of those problems because we have the answer to trigger those natural responses in our body to go take care of it in a natural way, in the way that it was supposed to be taken care of. And a lot of people, I think, if you don't hop on board at this time, there's been many examples of like, man, I wish I would have caught that train.
Yeah.
And it's there at the station. I mean, we barely got moving, and everybody's. I mean, like I saw at that Make Wellness conference. I mean, that room was large, and they haven't even opened yet. So
Fully
Yeah.
launched. Yeah.
yeah, fully launched at that time. So I think that in 5 to 10 years, this is going to be going big. And I mean, that's where I see it happening. So I'm definitely on board. I'm strapped in and, choo choo, let's go.
Let's
All
go.
aboard.
It's just that peptides are going to be a household name. They're going to be, when people think of natural bioactive precision peptides, they're going to think of Make Wellness.
Yeah.
And it's just, the company, the plan. I love that you make money on what you sell.
Yeah.
Because there's many people out there that are like, I don't want to build a team. That's fine. You make money on what you sell. You don't have to worry about that. So it's the option. You have the option to do either, or. So it's just there's I just don't like I don't see myself not doing this.
I know.
I tell them I'm like this is amazing. I'm like, I talked to someone about bioactive precision peptides and they're like, what is that? What's a peptide? Wait a minute, don't I thought they only have to be injected. I'm like, not anymore.
I
So
got a message yesterday from someone that I've never chatted with. They've like followed me for like over 10 years. And they bought peptides today, some natural peptides from me. And that she's just like, Scotty, like I saw you doing this peptide thing and you're doing a business with it. And I've followed you and respected you for the longest time. So I don't even need to see all the stuff. Like I trust you. Like I want to try them and possibly do the business. But it was funny. She's like, I see you doing something bigger than a peptide business though. And she's like, because I've just seen what you've done over the past 15 years. And I was just like, this is what I'm doing. Like I feel like I can make the biggest. I told her, I voice texted her back because she had a voice text. I was like, I was seriously thinking about becoming a certified high performance habits coach. Like I've created some really incredible things in my life. Like we have 5 vacation rentals. I've worked from home for 15 years. I've mentored 5 different people that earn over $1 million. Like I've done a lot in business. And so I could go be a high ticket paid business coach and teach people high performance habits. And I thought about doing that. And I have a podcast and all of these things. But I was like, I could do all that. But if I do that, like I can help people get results but they pay me a lot of money to do that. But I was like, here, they don't have to pay me anything, and I can just serve and give to people, and they can grow a business and earn, like, feel really well with the
Mhm.
peptides and earn an income for their family, like you guys, where Michael can come home from work, working so much hours and be at kids' sports or activities. And I was like, that's far more rewarding than me just doing my own thing where I make good money. Like, I want to build a business where I can help people feel good in health and wellness because I love health and wellness. And I
Mhm.
can help people earn more income for their family. I was like, that's been my
Mhm.
mission. It's never been like I build a large income that provides well for my family. My mission's always been I help I help people feel better and help families earn more income for their family. And so it was like a no-brainer for me that this is my life work. Like I'm 43, 44 this year. Like I see myself doing this until a normal retirement age. And then I'll be like 70 speaking at a conference for Make Wellness about how I built my business the past 25 years. Like that's what I see. And so I'm super
You've
excited.
been strong because you got fit.
Oh
So
yeah, we'll be doing pull-ups on that stage and everything.
Well, there's that saying that money doesn't buy happiness. And that's, yeah, I think it's false because if I were to give something to somebody like you, it might not be money, but it's your time and effort to provide something to somebody else that you're going to teach that person to fish instead of just give them a piece of fish. You're going to teach them to fish. Think how rewarding that is to you to see that person succeed.
Yeah.
So
There's no
anytime you can help somebody, I mean, yeah, that's it. That is a big reward that you feel it. It feels right.
Mhm.
Feels so good. That's why I love it here. When we were at the convention, one last thing, my dad and mom bought tickets to the convention. My dad's building the business with us as well, which is super awesome to see. But one of the things I told my dad when I first got back, I was like, Dad, I've been at conventions for a business for 15 years, and I loved them. And people get up and they teach and they share. And I spoke on stage before in front of 17,000 people and taught different subjects. But I was like, Dad, like everybody in the like for my whole experience has been so different because it's always like John C. Maxwell teaches, like when we're teaching, are you learning? Or Jim Rohn once said, or Tony Robbins says. I was like, at this conference, it was like in Matthew 3:17.
Yeah.
So you're t
Yes.
you learn that, and I just felt so like I have the chill, like my hair,
Yeah.
like I have the goosebumps. The people here are just absolutely incredible, like
Mhm.
people who love God, love serving people, and it's just I love it. Like I got home with Gabby, I was like, Gabby, even if someone never like even loved peptides or even built a business with this, if they just came and sat in that room and were around people that are there, like their life would be better.
Mhm.
And so,
I
like, I
agree.
think there's just so many things that are rewarding about being here with Make Wellness. And
I
I just
agree.
say, I am just so grateful that you guys are a part of our team and our journey. And I'm just excited for your future and to see what happens. So, thank you
This
guys
this is
for this
this is
conversation.
definitely a different company in a good way.
Yeah, I love it. It's only the beginning. So if you guys have questions, you watch this, like reach out to Michael and Jenny, and we'll help you guys get started on your journey, whether that's with peptides or building the business. You'll have all the support you need for either part of that. So thank you guys for listening.